All right. According to YouTube, we are live. So, hello, everyone. Welcome to tech.mn office hours. Ho, ho, ho. It's beginning to look a lot like Friday because there's no snow anywhere and it's brown. And I'm not going to lie, it's a little depressing. But we have three wonderful stories to lift your spirits and a wonderful interview with a wonderful human being. And we're joined with an even better human being. Sorry, Tim. My co-host, my co-worker, Jack Stark. How you doing, Jack?
Hello, that was a very great intro.
Thank you. Thank you. I may have practiced it in the shower this morning. Not gonna lie, I definitely did that. So we are coming up on the holiday here. Whether you celebrate it or not, that's totally fine. But there's holly and holly berries and halle berries probably around somewhere. I don't know. There's trees, there's lights, there's ornaments. It's a jolly time of year. Are you feeling jolly, Jack?
You know, we could use some snow. But
That's true.
I can't complain too much. We're home, we're healthy, and we've got some news.
We do. We definitely do. So we're going to get right into it. Also, in about 10 minutes or so, we have the wonderful Tim Bornholdt of the Jed Mahonis Group coming on for a little interview and a little game and some end-of-year holiday cheer, as I like to say. I think I made that up myself. But before we do that, we're going to get into the top three of kind of the week. It's kind of about a week and a half because I wanted to include this story, and our first story this week for this office hours is Rally Ventures announces a $250 million fund. Now, the new fund is called Rally 4 with a really sick Roman numeral, which I thought was really sleek and cool. The new fund was oversubscribed at $250 million, and this is the largest for the firm. The round will focus on seed and Series A financing, so some pretty early stage financing, which is really cool. I know that's been talked about a lot in the Minnesota startup community, that access to seed funding and access to early funding needs to be kind of uplifted and made more prolific. So this should be a good shot in the arm for that. It's going to focus on cloud infrastructure, fintech, SaaS plus, and security are the key areas of investment. And it follows the 2018 round of $150 million. So it's $100 million more than their last round. And a little quote from Jeff Hink, the co-founder and partner of Rally Ventures: "We are committed to investing in the fastest rising business technology entrepreneurs, and the close of Rally 4 allows us to support founders who are changing the way the world works. We're proud to have the continued support of our existing limited partners and thrilled to be adding new investors with a long-term commitment to venture capital, including a high caliber group of endowments, foundations, family offices, and corporate investors." End quote. So 250 mil, stacks on stacks on stacks, I think, as the kids say, entering the Minnesota startup ecosystem. Jack Stark, how do you feel about 250 mil?
It's great for Minnesota to be part of this. And, the founders, Charles Beeler and Jeff Hink, they actually welcomed on a very public, very well-known name to their team, Justin Koffenberg, who's the CEO of Sports Engine. And so it's really good to see some of those familiar names be part of something so big.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The more money in the startup ecosystem, the better, I say. I've always said that, I like to say, even when I was 5. Moving on, slightly less money, but still stacks on stacks on stacks. Omcare, the latest round of funding, they secured a $2.5 million investment. It was invested from the Connect the Gray Management Investment Management. It provided 200. I have 250 in my head now from that huge story from Rally 4. Provided the $2.5 million total with future follow-on investments. Now, this is all surrounding the upcoming Omcare Health Hub, TM, which is expected to launch in 2021. Omcare will also become a portfolio company of Connect the Gray Management Investment Management, which I feel like there's one too many managements there in that name. We can workshop that, guys, if you want, for a fee, that is. Dun, dun, dun. We have a quote from Janie Hansen, the managing director for Connect the Gray Investment Management. we see big potential and big opportunities in partnering with Lisa Lavin, who is the founder of Omcare and the CEO, and her team at Omcare. We are confident in the company and in this product that takes digital health to the next level and expecting exciting growth ahead. Now, this news came out this week, and we published it on the site yesterday, along with two other stories in the med tech realm. Not millions of dollars, the other stories, but they were software updates that have to do with the upcoming vaccination blitz that's going to happen in the next months. And it's really cool in whatever capacity to see Minnesota companies getting in there and providing help, whether it's, boots on the ground, so to speak, or, logistics software to help hospitals get these vaccinations out in the most logical and correct way possible. It's always good to see Minnesota on the forefront of a big, extremely important, I'm not sure if anybody's heard, but there's been a little thing going on this year. It's just a tiny thing. It's really cool to see those Minnesota companies contributing in any way possible. So it was a good day, I think, for Minnesota MedTech yesterday, for sure.
So. Yes, and I love hearing these stories come out of Medical Alley. There's no better place than Minnesota, and I hope to see more. I expect to see more, because this is the place that a lot of those news stories should be coming from. Omcare I heard about years ago before I was even at tech.mn, and I think that's a testament to Lisa, the founder. She, we don't hear a lot from the medtech founders in our space. We kind of focus outside of that, but Lisa is involved throughout the startup ecosystem, and you see her in different competitions, judging, and just very active in the community. I'd love to see more of that from some of the other medtech founders. I know a lot of people are heads down, so I hope maybe that's something that we should start in 2021 is tapping into those and getting them on and hearing who they are. So Lisa is a good example of that.
Absolutely. A little live on air planning meeting that's going on. I love it.
Behind the scenes, tech.mn.
Yeah, exactly. It's thrilling. I hope these Minnesota companies, these Minnesota medtech companies, can continue to grow and continue to expand, because by the time I'm 80 or 90, I desperately want to be a cyborg. And the only way that's going to happen is if I start making connections with medtech CEOs around here. All right. That's all. I'm putting it out there now. It's the secret. I'm throwing it out into the world. By the time I'm 90, I am going to be a cyborg. And that is the dumbest thing you'll hear all day, everyone. Moving on. We are running a short series in the next 2 or 3 weeks. I don't know when this never-ending year will finally end, but we are doing a kind of letters from the team, just kind of short editorials, short personal stories in a way. Not the idea of these wasn't to focus around anything in particular. It was more to be very much of our voice. And Laura Beer, our fearless freelancer, a wonderful team member at tech.mn, kicked this series off late last week, actually, by publishing her letter called From the Outside Looking Admirably In. And we are going to, if you haven't read her letter already, I very much recommend doing it. It's a very sweet, very honest look at her time covering the startup community in Minnesota. And it has a really nice message that kind of acknowledges the challenges that this year has brought, but highlighting the tenacity and the courage and the kind of stick-to-itness, that's not a word, but it is now, thank you, of Minnesota startups and founders and anybody working. Really, we could expand that out to pretty much anybody doing anything this year, but since we do cover startups and technology, that's what she focused on. It's a really sweet look, and it's a really personal thing, very much of her voice. I love that. Definitely check it out on the site, and we are going to have more of those going up, possibly with ya boys going up today. So we'll see about that. And then in the future weeks, in the upcoming weeks, we will have a letter from Jack Stark And to kick things off, to close out the year, we're going to have a letter from the fearless leader himself, Kevin McCardle, CEO of SureSwift Capital. So very cool. I'm looking forward to publishing those and kind of collecting them in a little team letter suite. I've used that word about a dozen times over the past 12 hours. Jack's heard me say it a bunch. But so I think those are that's a cool series. It's a little bit something different for the site. It's a little bit more of a personal voice that we're bringing to the community. And I would really love to see more of that going forward. Kind of talking from the heart. You know what I mean? So yeah. I love it.
Laura, she is a young writer, but in the short time that she's been out there, she's really ingrained herself in the startup community. She's worked with Starting Up North, Stephanie Rich's publication. She's worked with Beta, she's worked with tech.mn, and she knows the scene. And it's been really great to have her on the team. So I think the one piece that stuck out from her letter is talking about how startups in Minnesota are resilient, especially this last year. And I think that made me cry just a little bit because it's been a weary year for everybody. And I think coming to the end of it, when you look back at all of the strength that you see coming from these startup founders, from our tech industry, from investors and accelerators, and everybody getting together to keep this space going, it's very heartwarming. So it's been a tough year, but it's also been a really good year to reflect upon.
Absolutely. And just to pick out a little passage from her piece right here. This is from Laura Beer's letter from the team. When you interview a founder, you get gritty, honest truths of how hard it really is to build a business. Stories of failure, starting from scratch, tough layoffs, and struggles with depression. Even heartwarming tales of getting into bird watching to spend more time with their kids. Origin stories that, more often than not, start with a personal connection to a problem that they are now devoting their lives to solve, which is pretty great.
Yeah.
And we have Tim Bornholdt, our guest, in the waiting room, but before we let him in, keys to the kingdom. Just a quick note, and this actually segues perfectly off of Laura Beer, our wonderful freelancer. She, wow. Got emotional, apparently, mentioning freelancers. We published a piece by Laura Beer kind of late yesterday about a new startup, very, very, very new, I think only really weeks old, called Turn Signal. They're developing an app that basically provides telelegal connection to people who get pulled over by police officers, because obviously there have been some issues with that. More often than not more often than not, but time and time again, we've seen, especially people of color getting pulled over and it escalating into a tragedy, plain and simple. So this app aims to kind of de-escalate those situations and make sure that everybody on both sides of the equation there, police officers included, know the legal scope of what's going on in those stops. So it's a really interesting piece. I think it's a really awesome goal. And the startup, started by 3 Minnesotans, seems to have a really good message and really good vision. And they're looking to launch the app in 2021. So that piece, new startup, Turn Signal aims to get everyone home safe, is on tech.mn right now. It should be on the front of the carousel. So everybody go check out them and show them some love and support, because it's an important cause that they're working on, for sure. Okay. That got a little heavy at the end, but we're going to bring it up and we are going to welcome. This always takes longer than I always think it's going to. Tim Bornholdt.
Hey, how's it going?
Hello.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Can't complain. How you guys doing?
Excellent. We just did our quick news rundown, and we are ready to dive in to the man, the myth, the legend, Tim Bornholdt.
The mustache.
That's right. The mustache. Now we got to start with the mustache. How long have you been growing that?
I've been growing it for a month and a half now. And honestly, my wife's the one who said, you need to grow a mustache. She wanted to see me with a mustache. So I was like, you know what? let's just go for it. And the best part is if I go out in public, no one will know because I'm wearing a mask the whole time. So I can, just wear my shame here in my house, and for the millions watching at home as well, I guess now they can see that as well. So
That's awesome. At first I thought you meant that the mustache was like a disguise in and of itself. And I was like, no, that's a very clever way to look at it.
I need like another 2 months so I can really get the ends here curled up, and then I can go like rob a railroad or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Get your burlap sack with a $1 bill sign on it and go like, yeah. All right, Tim Bornholdt, you are now. We've talked in the past. We did the tech.mn live stream during Startup Week, Startup Month. You were just recently, your episode on the tech.mn podcast was released, the FAQ roundtable. So there's a lot of Tim. There's plenty of Tim to go around, folks. All right, everybody knows it. So
some would say too much.
No, never, impossible. So Tim Bornholdt, I have a very simple, totally not existentially terrifying question for you to kick this off. Okay, who are you?
Who am I? Well, I suppose I'm a dad. I'm a entrepreneur. I'm a podcaster. I'm a runner. I'm a beer drinker. I am a lot of things, but I really I love technology and I love helping people out, and I don't know where to take a question like that, so I'm just gonna stop rambling and let you pick up.
No, I love it. You are, I think, is the answer to that.
Yes.
Oh, everybody digest that, huh? All right. So you love technology, and the main way that you interact with technology right now and serve the greater technology scope is through the Jed Mahonis Group, of which you co-founded, correct?
Correct.
Now and you can stop me at any time here in case I'm wrong, but I believe the quick rundown of the origin story of the Jed Mahonis Group is that you were all set to take a broadcast position in Duluth back in the day, and you decided to get lunch with a friend from high school, and that friend from high school said, hey, these apps, they're cool, and they're going to be a big deal. And he was right about that. And you said, and from that lunch meeting, the Jed Mahonis Group, which is a portmanteau kind of two pseudonyms that you used for your daily high school news broadcasts. Is that right?
You nailed it.
All right. And from there on out, the rest is history, really. I mean, so you create apps of all sorts for clients, correct?
Correct.
So in the past year, in 2020, how has the scope of things changed or not changed given everything that's going on for the business that you're running?
Well, I think from our business, I think a lot of new work and a lot of new clients haven't been pouring in, and I think it's because a lot of people are worried about the pandemic, but a lot of our existing clients have just accelerated their work because they really see that their workforce is going to be at home. They're going to be, not in the office, obviously. So having mobile tools to get work done has been something that makes a lot of sense for businesses to invest in. So that's really what we've been working on a lot, is just adding in things that people were kind of thinking, well, at some point we'll get to it, when we try to go from home or whatever, and then that need kind of elevated. So there's just been an outpouring of work in that regard for just kind of making things remote possible.
Nice. Fantastic. And with the struggles, my mind's kind of like bouncing around to a million different places here as usual. So
happens all the time to me.
Yeah. On your FAQ Roundtable podcast, you said something that I thought was really interesting. I believe the question in a nutshell was, what's the most challenging part of running a business or starting a business? And you said finding people to empathize with the challenges of that task. That it's kind of it's a narrow band that encompasses a lot, but very, very specific a lot. So it's kind of hard to find specific people to connect on those wavelengths, and really kind of, cry in each other's beer, for the lack of a better term. Over the years, how have you gone about, what are some of the things that you've done to try to make those connections? And do you think you've gotten better at it over time?
Sure hope so. um, I think that what's helped is just showing vulnerability and not being afraid on, I'm not saying like, go on LinkedIn and cry a river about how hard it is. It's like nobody's holding you to the fire, forcing you to run a business. Like it's your job. That's what you've decided to do. You need to go and do it and own it. But there's like certain joys and sorrows in running a business that if you think you're alone, and it happens all the time where you're going through something and you feel like you're the only one that's ever gone through this in human history. It's like odds are, with how many billions of people there are on this planet, at least one person has gone through something similar to you. And especially when it comes to starting a tech business, there's a lot of people in just the Twin Cities that run consultancies just like I've got. So I think it's just been as easy as reaching out and saying, hey, do you want to grab, this is, the before times you'd say, hey, you want to go grab a beer, grab coffee. Now it's, hey, you want to grab a Zoom chat and just vent. And, even after that tech.mn episode came out, a couple people from the Twin Cities tech scene reached out and said, hey, if you ever want to talk shop, I'm happy to do it. So I think it's just that vulnerability and showing other people that you can, that you're not alone, and that these kind of issues that you're going through, other people have done it, and you can see, bounce ideas off each other and try to figure out how you can overcome them together.
Yeah, for sure. And you mentioned the joys and sorrows of running a business. Put you on the spot a little bit. In the history of running and co-founding the Jed Mahonis Group, what is a joy and a sorrow that you can kind of talk about and dissect?
Well, yeah, I mean, the joy is just being able to see this team that we've put together of people that, all different walks of life. Most of our team was all self-taught developers, and they all kind of taught themselves after we were like, hey, you should go code or that kind of a thing. So it's been really rewarding to see the team grow in their skill sets. And I think a sorrow is, whenever a client project gets dropped for whatever reason, whenever we've screwed things up, or whenever the whatever business we're working with goes out of business, those are the tough times when you have to let go and you have to move on and evolve. It's hard to once you kind of, especially in an early stage of a business, when you're really getting started, every time you make a leap forward, that leap is like, yes, we did it. We finally got to this point. And then, sometimes that you get pushed back a step, and it's like hard to deal with those sometimes. So I think those are some of the sorrow times, are when you kind of have to figure out how to move on from, you screwing something up is usually how it goes. So
absolutely. And hopefully we're moving on from the sorrow times into 2021.
Yes.
Hopefully there'll be much more joyous times ahead. Now we have a short game to play.
Yes.
But before we get into that, what's on the docket for 2021 for Jed Mahonis? And if people are interested in connecting with you for business reasons, how can they get a hold of the group?
Well, one thing that we've recognized in 2020 was how terrible we are at outside sales, like going outbound and asking people, if they want apps built and things like that. So we've gotten a sales coach. We're working with Closers Media with Nikolai Bador and those guys, and we're really putting together a rock solid sales strategy and trying to go out and get some more business. So I think you'll be hearing a lot more from us just throughout the internet here in 2021. And I think we're on a growth trajectory for our business. So look forward to being one of the top 3 highlights on this show at some point, where you can read some exciting news about JMG.
Absolutely. We look forward to it too. All right, Tim, are you ready for literally the most exciting and most fun segment of a stream, podcast, or your life, really? I'm not going to lie, that you've ever experienced.
Yeah, my whole life is going to culminate at this point, so I'm looking forward to it.
It's all been leading to this. This is this or that. We're going to go through this or that. It's written the name, really, folks. We're going to say 2 things, and then we're each going to choose which one we prefer, and then hopefully be very respectful of others' opinions.
No, that's not going to happen.
No.
If you're wrong, you're wrong.
That's true. And since it's the time of the year, it's beginning to look a lot like Friday. We have a little bit of a holiday, secular themed this or that. Are you ready, Tim?
Let's do it.
Here we go. Hot cocoa or eggnog?
Hot cocoa.
Jack.
Hot cocoa.
I got to go hot cocoa too.
Nice.
Someone I know
This
is not
is-
going to be happy. My girlfriend is not going to be happy about that. She loves eggnog.
It's always great podcasting material when we all agree on something and can't.
I know. Yes. Okay, good. We're all right. All right. Next, marshmallows or whipped cream?
I'm gonna go whipped cream.
Jack?
Whipped cream.
I'm going to go cinnamon whipped cream.
Ooh.
Oh, fancy. I didn't know that
Is
was
I didn't know you could. Yeah, I didn't know that either.
I didn't
Throwing
know
these
about
curveballs.
I didn't know until it was made for me about a week ago. So, all right. The Grinch or Elf?
The Grinch.
I'm gonna have to go with Christmas Vacation.
What?
No, that's not an option, but it's my all-time favorite Christmas movie. And I don't know, that's the only one I really care to watch every year.
Now, a little behind the scenes thing here. I think this was a staged coup because Jack came up with these this or that's, and I think she just threw us first curveball there. That's crazy. Oh,
No fair.
From somewhere else. So
right. Yeah, no fair. I'm going to go with it's tough because they are both absolutely wonderful. I'm going to go with the Grinch. It's classic. It has a heart of gold. So does Elf, but like you can't beat the old animated Grinch. Oh, so good.
Well, and even every Grinch has its pros. I mean, the old Grinch is just classic. The Jim Carrey Grinch has Jim Carrey. Like,
It's true.
you really can't go wrong with that. And then the new one is actually phenomenal. I brought my daughter to it and saw it in theaters and everything. And it's we
Really?
still, that's the one we go to this year and last year as well. So Elf. There's a new Elf too. If you've seen that it was like a musical version that's like claymation, and that one's actually pretty good too.
Weird.
But yeah, I'm gonna stick with the Grinch. I'm not gonna go rogue like Jack did with picking a non-answer.
Is the new Grinch the one with Benedict Cumberbatch? Is he doing a voice in that one? Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. I'll have to check it out. All right. Sugar cookies or gingerbread?
Sugar.
sugar cookies.
Gingerbread.
Really?
Heretics over here. Yeah, absolutely.
Building the house, or do you actually enjoy like the taste of the sugar cookie or the gingerbread?
All of the above. Building the house, but gingerbread is delicious. It's like an adult cookie. I'm over here at the adults table, or you guys are just chowing down on sugar cookies over there.
I'm all about quantity, just as many sugar cookies as I can eat in one go. You know, that's what I'm all about.
That's good. And I do respect that. Sledding or ice skating?
Sledding.
Oh, I would say these days probably ice skating.
I have to go. Well, here's the thing. I don't think there's a pair of skates in the world that fit my feet. I have size 17 feet.
Jeez.
So I would be like sliding on two like katanas or something. They would have to be like huge blades. And sleds, anything that forces me to like crunch up into a small compact position is not very comfortable for me. So I guess what I'm saying is that I'm a big humbug and neither. I don't want anybody to have any winter fun, I guess. If I had to, I would go sledding with my nephews. How about that?
There you go. If I was going rogue, like you guys are apparently, I didn't know these were the rules. If I was going rogue and just picking up my own thing, I'd say broomball shoes.
Oh, I've never done broom ball.
Oh yeah. Let me know next winter when we can do stuff outside together. I'll take you. We'll play some broom ball. We'll have some fun.
Absolutely. I'm going to take you up on that. All right. 2 more. Movie marathon or board games?
I'm going to go board games.
Board games.
I'm going to go with board games too. There's a slight caveat to that has an asterisk on it. Board games with the right group of people.
Yeah, for sure.
You need people who are also into board games to play board games, or it sours quickly. I feel like that milk curds.
And I've been playing enough board games with my 4-year-old daughter where I'm not interested in a board game marathon with her necessarily, because she just gets mad when she loses and flips the table and leaves. So, but if I'm playing with the right group of people, then yeah, some solid board games is where it's at.
That's fantastic. What's your go-to? Yeah.
God, we don't really have a go-to. What we used to do was Betrayal at House on the Hill. That game is rock solid. But we've basically I have a group of friends that we do get together we used to get together once a month and play. Still think it's the before times. We used to play board games together, and every month we just rotate through, and everyone would bring a game and we'd try something new, and it's cool. It's good times doing it that way.
Nice. If anybody's looking for some recommendations, Forbidden Island, Forbidden Desert, and Forbidden Sky. All
the Forbidden series are great.
Very cool. They're super fun. And I also want to check out Gloomhaven, but it's very expensive and very intense. Last but not least, Mariah Carey or Michael Bublé?
I'm going to pass.
Yeah.
I just watched the Mariah Carey Christmas special, and I am going to be forever Mariah Carey.
I think because of All I Want for Christmas Is You, which was her, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. That, like Mariah Carey for eons above Michael Bubble. I don't even know who Michael Bubble is. Not a huge Michael Bublé fan. That whole like crooner thing just isn't my vibe. You know what I mean?
It was legit, 50, 60 years ago.
Exactly.
And there's still a time and place for it. Like, you can give me some Groban. I'd take Josh Groban in that kind of vein. But Mariah Carey, my wife and I've been watching a lot of RuPaul's Drag Race lately, and they're all like super big Mariah Carey fans. And I just, it's the, I just can't deal with the sass. It's too much sass.
Oh, too much sass. Yeah. It's a lot of sass. But the crooner thing, I thought we as a society agreed that crooners were over once the last member of the Rat Pack died. But I could be wrong about that. I
disagree wholeheartedly.
All right. This is now we're podcasting.
This is the juice. We're finally here.
Exactly. All right. Well, that was that. That was this or that. We did it. We made it through. Tim, was that not the most fun that you've ever had in your entire life?
I love these things. Yeah. That was the most fun I've ever had. It's all downhill from here.
It is all done. So yeah, we're sorry to set the bar so high. Well, thank you so much, Tim, for coming on and joining us this morning. We hope you have a wonderful holiday season, however you're choosing to celebrate it. Stay safe out there. Stay warm. Drink lots of eggnog. Drink lots of good beer. Play lots of good board games. And we hope to hear a lot of good stuff from Jed Mahonis Group going forward.
Yep. And for our listeners out there, be sure to check out the podcast, Constant Variables. How often does it drop?
Every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday. There you go. Check it out. And we'll be sure to put that on our Twitter.
Awesome. Thank you guys for having me on. And I do have to correct you though, Alex. I'm not gonna drink eggnog. I'm gonna drink hot cocoa. We've already established this. So I'm just doing a callback, as they say in the comedy space. But thank you guys so much for having me on today. I really had a good time.
Absolutely, Tim. Thank you so much. Have a good one. You can hop off, and we're just going to do a little wrap up here. So we will talk to you very soon.
All right. Take care, everybody.
All right. Thanks, Tim. All right. So it is 5 after. We've run 5 minutes late, but it is a wonderful, delightful 5 minutes. We have just one more thing a couple more things to plug, I guess. The first of which being, check this out. If this is going to work, I hope it does. Where is it? Here we go. Can you see that?
Yes.
Oh, Jack, why don't you give a little rundown of what we're seeing right now?
Yeah, this is the brand new tech.mn shop. Get all of your tech.mn and Minnesota Tech swag here. We've got some awesome pieces. Perfect time of year. We've got, I think so far, the most popular thing has been the Minnesota Local Pride tee. We also have a lot of people loving the Minnesota Works fleece crew neck. And my
so hot these days
is the Minnesota Kicks Sass t-shirt. So be sure to check that out. It's on the tech.mn website. If you're a member, you get $10 credit to the store. So, and speaking of membership, if you like today's show, sign up to be a member and you will get access to this every other week. Today, we open it up for everybody so you can get a little taste of our member exclusive benefits. But yeah, you can check that out on tech.mn.
Absolutely. It's a wonderful thing. We're excited about the year ahead. And we want to take the time. We won't have a live stream until 2021, I believe. So want to take just a little bit of time to everybody watching and to everybody who sees this. Thank you so much for your support for tech.mn. It means a ton. We've had a really good time this year. Definitely not the year we expected. I think everybody in the world can probably say the same. But kind of going off of Laura Beer's letter, the resilience and the strength of the Minnesota startup community has been really inspiring to see. So thank you for all your support, and we can't wait to keep covering the community and hopefully seeing you all in person in the later half of next year. Fingers crossed. We'll get through this together, folks. So have a wonderful holiday season, however you're celebrating. Have a wonderful new year. Kick it off the right way. And high hopes, folks. Chins up. Full hearts. Clear eyes. Can't lose. Something like that. All right. I'll see you later.